Hello again, Rod from Fleet News Group, and look at this thing we've got today, the Chevrolet Silverado LTZ. It's a very big American ute. It's got a big V8 under the bonnet, so let's give it a spin. And remember, if you like these videos, don't forget to hit that like button down there, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. Go on, smash away at that like button. You know you want to. In today's video, we'll be looking at all things to do with the Chevrolet Silverado, like what's under the bonnet, engine power, etc. What can it carry and what can it tow? What's it like on the inside? Who are some of its competitors and what's it like to drive? But first up, let's take a look at the styling of the Chevrolet Silverado. Well, let's take a look at the styling here of the Chevrolet Silverado. Number one, like all the American utes being sold here in Australia, it's big, very big. Just like the F-150, the Tundra and the Ram, it's a full-size ute. She looks pretty good though. Nice aggressive front there, although I do admit its bigger brother, the 2500 with the blackout treatment, looks a bit more aggressive and better. I quite like that. Good styling, it's well proportioned. It's got big 20-inch alloy wheels on this one. This is the Z71 or the Silverado LTZ Premium. It's a very nice looking truck. Very big. Big Chevrolet on the back here, in case you forget it's a Chevrolet. Looks pretty good there. It does have a power operated roller shutter and a power operated tailgate. To show you that here now, you just get the thing here, so it's a bit blurry, click it twice and down it comes. And there's a separate button here on the other remote to open and close the shutter. It's supposed to have a power up on it as well. I haven't found that to work yet, but there's nothing like a bit of old school, is there? By hand, shuts it just as easily. I did eventually find the switch to close the power tailgate. It's on the dashboard. Little steps there to help you get up in the load area, they're very good. The twin exhaust almost built into the rear bumper bar. Provision for a tow bar, because it's very good at towing this thing, but General Motors doesn't give you a gooseneck or a tow ball, you've got to get your own. Big GM sticker in case you forget it's a General Motors product. And just looking at it there with the plane going overhead, I think it's a pretty good looking vehicle. Well, what's under the bonnet? Let's take a look. Gas struts. Love those gas struts. Under the bonnet is a 6.2 litre V8 engine. It has a stop-start mode and cylinder deactivation to help with the fuel economy. Power on the engine is rated at 313 kilowatts and the torque at 624 newton meters. All that power goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission, through a 2-speed transfer case for the 4-wheel drive system, and it can run in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive auto, 4-wheel drive high or 4-wheel drive low. All very good. It has a 91 litre fuel tank and does need to run on premium unleaded fuel. So that's obviously a bit of a cost analysis you're going to have to do for yourself there, but General Motors says premium fuel only, premium unleaded, that's what it is. The fuel economy itself, they listed on this vehicle on the combined cycle at 12.2 litres per 100 Ks, but the best I've seen driving it around, and I have taken it out for a country trip this week, is 9.3 litres, and that's probably helped in no small part with a little bit of the stop-start going on in urban traffic, but certainly that cylinder deactivation as well is probably helping that as well. All very good, quite powerful underneath. The only other thing to consider, and this might be something, especially in the fleet space, that would be considered here, is the CO2 emissions. It's listed as 286 grams per kilometre, but when you extrapolate that out, say over a 12-month, 20,000 K period, that goes out to 5.72 tonnes of CO2 into the atmosphere. But considering the size of the motor and the vehicle, that's not to be unexpected. So, all very good in the Chevrolet Silverado, and what powers it? Well, what's it like driving the big Chev? I've got to say it's a lot of fun. Turn her out on the highway and just give it the loud pedal. And she just hammers away. Something this big and heavy's got no right to go that well. But big 6.2 litre V8 in it does the business for you every time. It's quite a comfortable vehicle to drive on smooth surfaces, but I must admit, driving around the country, it gets a bit busy in the suspension, it really does. Nothing in the back, the rear end tends to skip around a bit at times, upset by some undulations or the like. The front's a bit, every vibration comes through the vehicle, but I've got to remind myself, it is a truck. It's not a limousine, so I have to live with that as well. Is it a safe truck though? Well, interestingly enough, the Chevrolet, actually all of the big American utes from Ford, Dodge and Toyota that are now available in Australia, none of them are yet to undergo ANCAP safety testing. So none of them have an ANCAP safety rating at this point in time. I believe there's plans by ANCAP in 2025 to do some testing on them, but when that's going to be and what the tests are actually going to be is not by any means confirmed at this point. But having said that, it is a safe vehicle. It's got lots of safety features, driver assistant features. It's got the blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, tyre pressure monitoring, autonomous emergency braking, radar cruise control. It's got all that going for it, rear cross traffic alert, and they really do assist you. The radar cruise, you just wander along, catching the car in front, it slows you down. So it is very good that way. It's quite a comfortable seating position. The seats are heated and cooled in the front, and good, great features being a premium model with stuff like this. Find the button here. And you can just open up the sunroof and let the sunshine in. How nice is that? Very nice. I best close him up again because A, it's hot outside, and B, a lot of road noise comes in when the roof's open and I'm talking to you. But yeah, we're just going to have some bumps here now, and you get to sort of feel every single one of them transmit straight in the cabin. It's very practical, this vehicle. It does exactly what it sets out to do. It's a big ute, carries stuff, and is really good at towing. That's what it does. Bit hard taking it to the shops because it's so big, finding a parking spot for it, but you go into that with your eyes wide open, don't you? You know what it is, you know what you're going to get. And the big Chevrolet Silverado here, it gives you exactly what you think you're going to get out of it. And that's engine performance, towing ability in a big, comfortable vehicle to drive you around wherever you need to go. Did I tell you these things? They're bigger than Texas. The Chevrolet Silverado here, 1500 LTZ, it's 5,931 millimetres long. At 2,086 millimetres wide, it's over 2 metres wide, it's huge. And it's 1.93 metres high. Big vehicle, bigger than Texas they might say. But if you go into the shops, you might have to plan where you park it. Macca's drive-through for your coffee? probably a bit problematic. Not impossible, but yeah, that's what it is. They're big vehicles. You have to think where you're going to park them. And what about the turning circle? It's not going to turn on a dime, this thing. I know, I've had many 3-point turns already. 14.3 metres. That's something to think about if you're going to the shops with some small parking spaces and tight turns. Well, what's in the back? Let's take a look. We've got a power operated tailgate and a power operated shutter. They've very nicely put a little step here to make it handy to get on up and in to the back of the truck itself. What are the dimensions? Forgive me, notes. But in the back here, the length from the front to the back of the cargo area, 1,776 millimetres. Between the wheel arches, 1,286 millimetres. That means you can put a standard size pallet in the back of this vehicle, no problems. The height from here down to the floor of the bed there, 569 millimetres, and the total space in literage, 1,781 litres under the shutter. So there's a fair bit of space here to carry a lot of stuff. Well, let's talk about towing. Silverado, the F-150, the Ram, the Tundra, all these big American utes available now are really good at towing. So let's talk about the specific numbers for the Silverado here. First up, its gross vehicle mass. How much can the Silverado weigh? 3,300 kilos is the answer. 3.3 tons. That's you, the family, all your stuff in it, whatever you're carrying, some camping gear, gas bottles, boxes of tissues, I don't know, whatever you're carrying, 3.3 tons is the maximum the vehicle can weigh on the road. It has a 4,500 kilo brake towing capacity. That's huge. But as we talk through the numbers, mightn't be the best thing. It can do it, but can you do it legally? We'll come back to that. But to get 4,500 kilos, you need to be using a 70mm tow ball. If you're only using the standard 50mm, the maximum brake towing capacity drops down to 3,500 kilos. Just like the 4x4 utes and the like. But if you've got this vehicle pulling 3.5 tons, there's a bit of an advantage coming in the numbers for you. That being the case, the gross combination mass, how much you and whatever you're towing can weigh, is 7,160 kilos, over 7 tons. That's huge. The curb weight of this vehicle, 2,552 kilos, 2.55 tons. Take your curb weight away from your GVM and it gives you a total payload you can have in the vehicle before anything's hooked up to it, 748 kilos. But remember, the ball weight has to be added back into the equation for towing because it counts as part of your gross vehicle mass. Obviously, when it's towing 3.5 tons, the maximum ball weight, 350 kilos. On the 70mm tow ball, towing 4.5 tons, that's going to be a bit of an issue. You'll have to do the balancing on whatever it is you're towing because the maximum ball weight permitted on this vehicle is 422 kilos only. So the normal equation doesn't necessarily apply if 10% of the weight of what you're towing is your ball weight. It's there or thereabouts, but you're probably going to have to measure it. 422 kilos is the maximum ball weight. And Chevrolet doesn't provide you with a tow ball or gooseneck either. They put the tow bar on the car, but you've got to provide the rest of it yourself. So looking at all that, what can you actually tow? Well, as I said, it'll depend what you're towing. But if you're pulling the 3.5 ton van, when you add all the numbers up with a 748 kilo payload, 3,500 kilo van behind you, you can actually carry your maximum brake load and your maximum payload with this vehicle. It'll still stay under the GCM, 3,500 plus 3,300. You're going to be just around that mark there. So just to watch it exactly, you're going to keep your payload. But if for some reason, maybe you're a builder, tradie, and you might need this to tow a really big heavy trailer once in a while, it's going to get away with it for you. But when you're towing 4.5 tons, when you do all the numbers, you add it up, the payload you can have in the vehicle is only 108 kilos. That means no passengers, probably just the driver, and maybe not even a full tank of fuel. But if you need to tow something that weighs that much, you might need to tow it between building sites or something like that, then you're going to be fine. But eyes wide open, study the numbers, and the vehicle will do pretty much what you need it to do. Well, how's it going to go off-road? It's certainly got the power. 6.2 litre V8. It's got high and low range, four-wheel drive capabilities. It's going to power over whatever you need it to do. But there's other things that may catch you out because it's so big. The ground clearance underneath, 228 millimetres. It's not too bad, but it's certainly not class leading. The approach angles at the front, 21 degrees. Anything higher than that in the front of the car will hit it before the tyres do. In the middle, it's very long. The ramp over angle, the point at which it goes over the top of the obstacle you're driving over, will clear before it bottoms out as you go over the top. That's 20 degrees. And at the rear, once you come down the other side from the obstacle and then depart the area along the track, the rear angle, the departure angle, is 21 degrees again. For off-roading, they're pretty tame numbers. Other vehicles are much more capable off-road, but this will do what you want it to do. Maybe that's not the extreme stuff, but it's built to tow and might get you there in the first place with what you're towing. All very good. Well, when I say bigger than Texas, I'm not kidding. I feel like the passenger's sitting in a different postcode to me here at the moment. It's very big and luxurious inside the Silverado. So much space, I don't know what you're going to do with it. It's very well appointed inside here, I quite like it. It's got the sunroof up here which opens up, push of a button, there it goes. Full digital instrumentation both in the infotainment screen and in the instruments. I'll put some pictures of that up for you as well. We've got some nice big buttons along here that are easy to operate. We've got the downhill descent control, lifting the tailgate back up. I found the switch there, and then turn the automatic start stop off if you don't want to use it, and all the functions of the ventilation are down here further. Buttons again, and knobs to change the temperature, so you're keeping your eyes on the road, not looking over here and not looking out there where you should be, just to change the fan speed or the temperature. The electronic brake controller here for towing is right here. Fantastic. You can adjust it by pushing the button or using the plus or minus buttons here. Again, show you a picture of that a bit easier as well. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto as well, all up on the digital touchscreen infotainment system here. And I love the fact I've got the analog clock in a digital display up here. You'll see that in the photo, but it's got 4 different ways it's telling me the time. On Apple CarPlay, on the clock, and a digital clock up here, and also in the instrument cluster as well. So there's no forgetting the time in this car. You really are learning all about it. Big storage space in there. Coffee cup test. Nice and easy, firmly fitting, and even put your water bottle in there too. I've got my phone plugged in, you can do that as well, but it is talking to it wirelessly. It's just charging it there, and I can keep it in the case when it does that. Just close this back over because the weather isn't very cooperative today, and it's deciding to come in the car as well. But it's a very, very nice space, comfortable driving position, excellent view all round. The rear view mirror, and I'll show you this as well, is also a digital display when you turn it up. So it's your choice whether you want the electronic display from the rear view camera showing all the time, or the normal rear view mirror. All very good here. I quite like it. We're looking in the rear seat of the Silverado now. So much space, it's huge. We've got here, just easy to show you while I'm here, some cup holders in the front here, which can also be used by the front passenger or driver. Cup holders in the armrest here. We've got the rear air vents, USB-C and USB-A ports, and the heating controls for the outboard seats as well. But space is the case in the back here of the Silverado. It's almost a flat floor. The transmission hump does protrude up slightly, but really not at all. It's not a big hump in any means. Nice, virtually flat floor. But storage, there's lots of storage in here, and a lot of it isn't obvious. In the rear of the seat, just open up a little compartment there, and there's a little knick-knack place to hide things away out of sight. Close that up again. Thank you. The armrest also folds up out of the way for a fifth seat, and then there's more storage space underneath. Lift that up, lift this up, and there's storage bins under here as well on both sides to put lots of little stuff away in there, out of sight and away from prying eyes. Very good. And when I'm sitting in the rear seat, wow, look at the space. I could do a little dance in here. There's so much room, it's not funny. Headroom's very, very good. Lots of space. Soft turf surfaces, it's all very nice. All the leather seats, of course, in here. It's a heated seat. It's very, very nice. I quite like it, and could comfortably travel here on any long distance trip. That's the rear seat of the Silverado. Well, what's the fleet manager going to say? 6.2 litre V8, four-wheel drive ute, all this torque and horsepower and all the rest of it, roars away, makes big sexy sounds. Default position, you'd think it'd be no. But actually, when you stop and think about it, what is this thing good for? Big, heavy jobs. There's a lot of uses in fleets, and especially in the government space, think emergency services, forestry, agricultural or mining applications, that this vehicle may well be very well suited to it. In a mine, it'd go great. Most of the roads are graded where it's got to go around in an open cut mine. It'd get around, put some flashing lights on it, some green fluoro pinstriping as they do on the mining vehicles. It'd go really well. So I don't think the fleet manager is going to come out and say no straight away. There is going to be quite a few uses for this type of vehicle, and it'll do a lot of things which the current crop of 4x4 utes, Ranger, Hilux, Triton, Navara, all of those don't do as well, because this can actually tow more and it'll just do the business for them. So that's really good in the fleet space. Many applications I can see for this. If you're a rep running around seeing customers, I want this on the fleet, maybe in a pharmaceutical company, something like that. Nah, that's not going to happen. But you may wish to have one as a novated lease, and because of the payload being under a tonne in this vehicle, that is an option for you as well. And it may well be the cheapest way that you can get yourself into one of these vehicles. They're not cheap, the vehicles, they're quite expensive. We'll talk about that in a bit, but it may be the best way. But the first thing you need to do, if you're looking at any novated lease, or your fleet manager's looking at an operating lease or vehicles that should or shouldn't be included on the vehicle fleet for the company or the government department, whichever, the first place you need to go is to our website, fleetnewsgroup.com.au, and download yourself our free copy of a car leasing guide, going through all the makes and models, what they cost, what their residuals are, all the pertinent information you need to know about car leasing. fleetnewsgroup.com.au, free car leasing guide. Download it today. Well, what's the ownership experience going to be like with the Chevrolet Silverado? For a start, most manufacturers offer a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty. Not the Chevrolet. It's 3 years, 100,000 Ks, whichever occurs first. So that's a pretty big consideration to make when you can see other vehicles in the market, 5 years, unlimited kilometre warranties. Service intervals are pretty reasonable. 12 months or 12,000 Ks is the requirement, whichever comes first for servicing, but they will offer you upfront a 3-year roadside assistance program from the date of first registration. 3 years, 100,000 Ks, I think it's lagging behind the times compared to its competitors and what the market standard is these days, but that's just something to be aware of because that's what it is. Well, what's it going to cost you to get the big Chev in your driveway? And what other makes are out there who make these type of utes as well might you be considering when making your choice? First up, talk briefly about the pricing on the Silverado 1500 here. General Motors lists that price at $130,500. Obviously there are options and other accessories and things you can add to this vehicle, and if you look at the 2500 series, it's bigger, probably going to cost you more as well. So talk to your GM dealer about that one. Other competitors are out there as well. I'll list the pricing for those and some of the stats down below for you. But first up, the Ford F-150. Another vehicle that's brought into the country like this one is a left-hand drive and converted. Actually, all of them are. Ford F-150 comes with a 3.5 litre V6 twin turbo. Power stats for that's down there. And it's not a V8, but it does come in two different versions, the XLT and the Lariat, both in short and long wheelbases as well. And the long wheelbase models are over 6 metres long, so if you think these ones are difficult to park the short wheelbase, that one's even longer. Pricing and specs is down there for that. Next up would be the Dodge Ram. It's another V8, but Dodge has announced recently that the V8 is dead and they're going to replace it with, I think, a 6-cylinder engine. More information that will be coming out soon. Again, the price currently for the Dodge Ram's down there for you now. Lastly is the new player coming into the market, the Toyota Tundra. Another big player in this space, very big in the States, and certainly one worth your consideration. But all of them you have to look at to make sure what you're getting is what you really want. Check all the stats and what they can and can't do. The payloads in each are different, as well as their capabilities. They're all generally listed as brake towing capacity of 4.5 tonnes, but as we've seen elsewhere in the video, that isn't always what it ends up being, and it just depends what are you actually towing, and that might be a major consideration for which vehicle you choose to buy. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 LTZ. I like it. There's a lot to like about this vehicle. The engine, 6.2 litre V8. Does it get up and go? It does the business big time. Hammers much harder than this vehicle, given its size, has any right to. But the power's there for a reason, like in all the big utes, the American style utes that are coming into the country now. Towing. And I really get the attraction for someone who's got a very large van, 3.5 tonner, dual axle thing, taking it around the big lap around Australia. This thing will pull one of those like it's not even there. They're well set up for towing. In the fleet space, lots of applications there too. Think mining, agriculture, forestry, emergency services. The SES could kit up one of these very well and have haul their big swiftwater rescue boats behind it, all that sort of stuff. There's lots of applications in the fleet space for this type of vehicle. I think it's very, very good. But a big vehicle comes with a big price tag, and that's a very serious consideration. It's over 130 grand just to buy into one of these things, and all its competitors are similarly priced as well. So if you're looking at a vehicle like this, eyes wide open, what do you need it for, what you're going to do. And if all that works out for you, that's what you want, the Silverado should certainly be on your shortlist for consideration. Having said all that, if you like these videos, don't forget to hit that like button down there. as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I've enjoyed filming it for you. I've enjoyed driving this truck around. It's a lot of fun, even though if you do have to get out and walk into Macca's to get your coffee. But it's a lot of fun to drive, and I really hope you've enjoyed the video today. Again, I'm Rod from Fleet News Group. Thank you very much for watching, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.